Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and today I'll be reviewing Insomniac Spider-Man 2, which was released back on the 20th of October of last year for the PlayStation 5. Now this is a continuation of both the first Insomniac Spider-Man game and the Miles Morales Spider-Man game. And in this story, you get to see Peter Parker and Miles Morales sort of like teaming up in this game more effectively. Where when you look at like the first game and the second game, with the first game being with those two games being mainly solo Spider-Man-ing with some help from other characters like your Aunt May, Mary Jane, Ganke, and a variety of other characters. But with this game, it's more two Spider-Men just battling variety of well-known Marvel Spider-Man characters. For this game, it's both Kraven the Hunter and Venom. Now, with Kraven, I'll start with him first, and then talk about Venom because both the Kraven storyline and the Venom storyline kind of go together. They kind of follow each other one after the other. So I think I'll start with Kraven's storyline, and then I'll move on to Venom. So with Kraven, he's kind of getting bored of when you first see him. He's kind of bored of the whole trying to find an equal to him because I'm gonna spoil a lot of this. So you haven't played the game yet, I highly suggest you do. Because so basically, the reason why Kraven's trying to find an equal is because he's dying, and he's got like this sort of like he's got like cancer or something in the game from what I remember, or a form of cancer from what I remember, and he wants to try and go out on his terms, so that's why he's trying to find himself an equal. So when you first see him in New York, he's rounding up some of Spider-Man's rogues gallery. So the Scorpion, Vulture, Mr. Negative, and a variety of other characters from Spider-Man's rogue gallery that have appeared in the previous games or have been mentioned. So there's other characters like Black Cat, Wraith, which I'll talk about later on in the video, and other characters. Then eventually Spider-Man, and then later on Venom. And with Kraven, I think it's a good adaptation of Kraven. I think this is probably the best Kraven we will probably get, because there is that Kraven movie coming out sometime, I believe, this year. I think it's going to be in October this year, I believe, October, November time. And from what I've seen of the trailer for the Kraven movie, I've got to say it's not as good. It's probably not a really good adaptation of Kraven. And I think the one we've got in the game is a really good Kraven, because he's just wanting to go out on his terms. He wants to find someone on equal pacing to him, or someone better that can take him out on his terms, his rules, and not just being stuck in a bed somewhere where his family can just watch him die. And I think that's an interesting way of doing a villain, just like finding a bunch of characters, a bunch of villains here and there, and trying to like find a way to try and like not only hunt them, but have them hunt him. And you do get to see Kraven take out some of the characters. For instance, I think the main one is Scorpion that you do get to see, and it's quite brutal. I think it's just a neck snap in the game, and I think it's like a neck snap and like a dagger to the chest, I think, from what I remember. And it's really like just like I think it happens off screen as well. So it's like this guy is strong, he's brutal, he takes no. Well, I mean, he does take prisoners, but in terms of when it comes to the hunt, he takes no prisoners. And it's not until he meets Venom in his Venom form, in his like true like Venom form, not like when it comes to like the black suit when Spider-Man gets it. He's like, finally, this is like the truest of preys, the truest of hunters that will put an end to my life. And yeah, and I think that's a sort of like weird but also sort of ingenious way of fighting a villain, like just like of how he's done and stuff, sort of stuff. And like with Negative and Silver Sable in the first game, Craven has his own hunters, and with this, I think that it's okay. I do like how you have to find the different hunters and stuff, like the hunter bases, because they got similar bases than like in the first game, and even in the second game, we go to these various bases. But unlike the bases in those two games, once you do a base in Spider-Man 2, when it comes to the hunters, they're done. You can never do them again. And I think this is where when it comes to the game, there are some bits that feel a bit rushed, because when it comes to the overworld of Spider-Man 2, it's twice the size of the first two games, because for the first two games it's mainly done with the main like island, or the central island of the game. So the places with like Hell's Kitchen, Brooklyn, I believe, Chinatown, and that main bit of New York. But with this game, you've got a huge expansion, twice the size of the previous two games. And with this overworld, it could have been so cool as just to go and see like more bases and stuff, more hunter bases and stuff like that. And even later in the game, when it comes to Venom, more nests and stuff when it comes to the symbiote and stuff like that. But you get like 4 or 5 bases roughly-ish, and it's just once they're done, you can never do them again. And I kind of wished you could do them multiple times or stuff like that. Like, and you could do like you could try and redo the challenges. Like, I think the it's like, oh, stop the warning bells or stuff like that, or try and fight as many bad guys as possible by doing a cut-down combo or stuff like that. Or yeah, I think it could have been a lot more. So yeah. So now I'm going to talk about the Venom storyline, and with this one, it kind of starts off with Harry Osborn and Peter, and then then it goes to Peter, and then it becomes Venom. So to start off with, in the first game, you learn about Harry's illness and how it's the same as his mum's, and then in the post-credit scene of the first game, you learn that Harry is in the giant tank that was seen in the secret lab that Norman Osborn had in his apartment. And then in this game, you find out that Harry is released from the tube of the tank, which was shown in the post-credit scene for the Miles Morales game. And then throughout the game, you kind of like ask, well, both Harry and not Harry, both Peter and MJ ask how he's doing, how he's got better, and then you later find out that Harry has the Venom suit or the symbiote suit, as we know, or the black suit at this point in the game, quite early on, before we know anything about it being, or the characters knowing it being a symbiote. And I do like how with the suit it kind of evolves or starts to evolve into the Venom character that everybody knows that him for. So to start off with, it starts off as just a suit. It looks like a suit. It looks like a battle ready suit. I think it's even called a combat suit when you first see it. And then after Harry and Peter do a mission together to free Tombstone, who got captured by Craven, and they do a sort of like fist bump. The symbiote sort of attacks, well, not really attacks, but sort of like grabs Peter's hand, and it takes part of his costume. So it's sort of like an early Venom Spider-Man design. And then later on, when Harry, not gives up, but when we learn out later, when the symbiote chose Peter, it becomes a full-on Spider-Man suit, and it takes on the attributes of Spider-Man's suit, to the point where it has like the big Spider-Man logo on its chest. And then when it becomes Venom itself, it gets the giant Spider-Man symbol. It gets the white eyes. It gets like a lot of the things that Venom is known for. And I do like the different stages. So as I said before, they got this earlier Spider-Man symbol, then the full-on symbol, and then the full-on Venom symbol. But I do like how from the Spider-Man suit, or the black suit, to the Venom design, in those in between moments, there's a bit in the game when you free the lizard of his lizardness and you cure him. There's a bit where Kurt Connors, who is the lizard, says, "Oh, Venom came out of this meteorite that fell to Earth a few years ago," and the suit sort of tries to grab it. It becomes more venomous. So you get to see like the more Venom-looking suit, and it becomes a symbiote suit, which I do like in the game, because when you get the symbiote suit, it's first known as the black suit, and then when you learn that it's an alien, it becomes the symbiote suit. So it changes name. So I think that's quite cool, and I do like how with the symbiote suit, when it's more known as the symbiote suit, it gets more sort of sharp on certain parts of the body and more symbiote-like. So what I mean by this is that with the eyes get more jagged, the suit or the symbol starts to get a bit more monstrous. And I do like how there's an MJ mission in the game where you're fighting, or not fighting, but more trying to help Peter, trying to sort of make him wake up or something like that, because I think at this point in the game, you don't know he's awake or asleep. You just see him sort of attacking people, and I think it's mainly Craven hunters. But at that point, it's like when you learn that he's asleep, it's like, oh no, it's not Peter doing all this stuff. It's the suit. And I do like how in that part of the game where you hear Peter saying, "MJ, run," and on the run, it's monstrous, and I do like that bit. And when I learned about that Venom is an alien in the game, I was like a bit disappointed about it, because I was kind of hoping for the part of me that was thinking that Venom was going to be some sort of Oscorp battle suit, as it was mentioned in the game. And yeah, I do know that Venom is an alien in the comics and in the various adaptations that he's appeared in the movies. But I was kind of hoping for for this version of Venom to be some sort of battle suit or something like that. Like, oh, this was something made in Oscorp to try and help Harry with his cure, stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, because when you look at the this version of Spider-Man, it's like a more grounded in reality Spider-Man. And I know that Spider-Man as a whole is meant to be a street level character, and he's the most relatable hero out of any of the other heroes in Marvel's back catalogue. But when it comes to something, if you compare, let's say, this version of Spider-Man to the MCU's version of Spider-Man, yes, Spider-Man is still relatable in those films, but with that Spider-Man, he's fought Thanos. He's fought Thanos' right hand man, and yeah, and I still like those movies, and I still like the fact that with the release of No Way Home, that version of Spider-Man is going to be a lot more grounded and more street level. With Insomniac Spider-Man 2, I was kind of hoping like, oh, it's like just a battle suit and it becomes Venom, but like, oh no, it's an alien. Yeah, but I can't really say too much when in the same game with Venom, you get to see magic happen in the game, because there's a bit with Black Cat and she steals an item from Doctor Strange's place, and it can create portals to far off locations. And there's also a collectathon item with spider bots, and once you've collected all of them, you get to meet someone who knows Miguel O'Hara, who's Spider-Man 2099. So yeah, I can't really complain too much, but I was kind of hoping for a battle suit, but it's okay. And now it's time for some gameplay. So the map, compared to the first game, is a lot larger than when compared to the first game, because mainly you get like this part of the map open to you, and you also get this main part of New York as well, not just this bit. And I think that's a good way of helping to expand the game a whole lot, because you get to do a lot more. You basically get to explore more of the map areas, and if you look on where the Midtown pop-up is, where like the district progress, you can see not only the different things you can do, but how far you've done when compared to other districts in the area. So depending on how many ones you've done, you'll get either tokens or the ability to fast travel. Now, I think this is a good and bad thing, I would say, my opinion. Good in that it allows you to explore parts of the map that you might not have noticed before, stuff like that, when it comes to new stuff. But also a bit bad because, mainly because of the fast travel, kind of locked between these things if you do want to fast travel. And the fast travel, compared to the first two games, is a lot better. So if I just it basically what you can do is if you fast travel to a triangle, there we go. So if you want to fast travel, so fast travel. So compared to the first two games, you just fast travel instantly.
I'm so sorry.
When you compare to the first two games, it's just a cutscene in a train, and then Miles and Peter will do a different thing, like sleeping, interacting with New Yorkers, that sort of thing, which I think is quite nice. But the fast travel, when compared to this game, it's a bit slower in comparison. So yeah, and also one of the new abilities you can do is web wings. So I think web wings are nicely included into the game, because they were referenced in the first game as part of a collectible. But these basically help you glide for a bit, but also if you go, you can find these wind currents, which basically help you go faster, and then you can time that with your gliding and web swinging, and I think that's quite cool. So, and also, I think I'll either have explained it or will explain it, but I'm going to explain it quickly here. This is from, I've already beaten the game, but this is just from a previous save. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you look at this map now, you can see that there are some bits and pieces to do. So some of Craven stuff, some photos to take, some Mysterio stuff. Then later on with Venom, you will have to fight the nests. And then when you compare, and then I'm going to show you what's going to happen once you've done everything in a future save that I've done. So yeah. So this is my finished saves, and as you can see, there's pretty much nothing to do except doing Mysterio stuff, and I would say that it's, when you compare to the first two games, it's a bit lackluster. It just feels like, to me, like the developers, it feels like to me that the game wanted to do more stuff, with Venom and Carnage. Not Carnage. Venom and Craven, and I just feel like there was there was a lot of stuff that felt like the window was closing in terms of a release date, and yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why, to me personally, I think that you don't do a whole lot of post-game stuff apart from like the Mysterio trial stuff, and you also get one new suit at the end. That being the life story suit that you get from Harry at the end, and yeah, it's a bit of a lackluster suit. I will be talking about my favourite and least favourite suits in two separate videos later on, like in one being this week and another one being the next week. But yeah, when it comes to post-game stuff, there isn't really a lot of stuff to do apart from just getting all the suit upgrades, getting all the gadgets, skills, and any of the suits that you might have left for both Peter and Miles. But one of the things I do like about the suits, especially for Peter when it comes to the post-game, is that you do get both symbiote suits, or this version of Venom suits. So the symbiote, so the black suit and the Venom symbiote suit, and you also get the anti-Venom suit, so I think that's quite cool. And also, depending on which suit you choose, so whether that be the black suit or the symbiote suit, so let me just choose the symbiote suit, for example. Your webs will match that particular suit. So because the symbiote is on me, the webs become black, like the symbiote. So I think that's quite cool. And it's also similar for, if I go down, and there it is. It's also the same for the classic black suit, which I think is quite cool. It's like a really cool attention to detail that I do like in the game. I think that's quite nice. And yeah, the combat, if I can find a random crime to do, it's pretty much the same. Oh, hang on, I can do the Mysterio stuff. So if I can, the crime. So I'm going to show you the crimes, to show you how the combat. It's like the same, but also a bit different as well. And also, I'm going to show you how you can switch between Peter and Miles, because you can switch between both Spider-Man in this game, so I think that's quite cool. So let's go do some crime. Oh, also, you've got some, before I forget, you've got some places, you've got some stuff you can use traversal to make it go faster, so I think that's quite cool.
Like stealing stuff?
So the combat is pretty much the same, like in the first two games, but also with Peter, he can use symbiote powers. I think it's quite cool. And also, you've got new gadgets. I think that's quite cool. And you've also like the finishers. They're back as well. They're quite cool to do. And when it comes to the gadgets, I think, I think there are some good ones. Well, probably one or two good ones. That one of them being the one where you can bring a lot of characters or enemies together, and that sort of thing. And also, for Peter and Miles, they've got different attacks. So with Miles, he's got like his super duper move that he got in the first game, or in his own game. And with Peter, he can summon either the black suit, symbiote suit, or the anti-venom suit for a limited amount of time. Even though you can use the suits as their own suits. Basically what they do is basically just give your punches and stuff, and your gadgets, or many of your webs, a bit of an extra punch. So, yeah. And also, if you bring up the app in the game, you can switch between either Peter or Miles, and they will do a bit of like free, like they'll basically do a basically just do a bit of like they'll basically do something before
you change into that particular character. So yeah, and also with Miles, he's basically got a lot of the same moves as he did in his own game, and yeah, I think when it comes to the gameplay, it's pretty much the same. It feels really nice. I do enjoy it. I just feel like I said before, and I'll probably either have said earlier on or later on in this video, I just feel like there could have been a whole lot more stuff to do and just add a bit more pieces to the game, like having to do more Craven stuff, like the hideouts, or maybe having either the nests or the bases, because the bases do have missions you can do. I just kind of wish like you could do them again. Well, the nests, they do disappear, but with the bases, it would have been nice if you could do the bases again and you could do more like cool different things, like different missions for that particular base. So yeah, so that's been it for the gameplay. Now it's time to go back to the review.
So when it comes to Miles and Peter themselves, I do like how their relationship has grown throughout the previous two games. So in the first game, and I would say some part of the DLC and the first part of the second game of the Miles Morales game, Peter as well as Spider-Man are trying to like help Miles out, like whether it's at feast or helping out with spider training, and even helping out in the first mission of the Miles Morales game. That I think that's quite cool. But in this game, I do like how they kind of like help each other in a way. So in the first mission, we fight Sandman, which I think is a quite fun mission. Even though it's a tutorial mission, I do think it's quite fun to fight Sandman, and he's even a giant version of Sandman, which I do like. I do like how they kind of like help each other. Like for example, Peter Parker tries and use these water canisters, cooler things that are on some of the buildings, and then Miles using his venom powers or his venom electric powers to hit Sandman at certain points to try and break him down a bit, and that's quite cool. And I do like how later on when Peter Parker has gone full on venomness, or when he's got like the full on black venom symbiote suit, and he's trying to like get yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but like later on in the game when Peter has had the symbiote on for quite a while, it's gone for like full on evil, or to the point of evil. And I do like how Miles tries and help him, just hitting the bell that Craven uses against him to try and get the suit off. I do like that. And when it comes to the suit, and the whole sort of like Peter Parker going back and forth on being evil, I think it's like with Venom. I think it's good. I think it's a good way of showing the progression of how the longer Peter Parker has the symbiote suit, the more evil and more deadlier he becomes. But I feel like the suit should have been on a bit longer, not a whole lot longer. I feel like maybe half an hour longer, and maybe within that half an hour, Peter Parker realizes, oh, this suit is dangerous to me. It's a danger to myself and my friends and my family and to those who I care about. And let's say he does something or like that goes past his rules, where it pushes him to his breaking point, to the point where, oh, I have to get the suit off. And yeah, and then but during that mission to Craven, he goes full off the deep end, and he's like, oh, give me Craven. I'm going to show Craven a fight he will never forget, and stuff like that. And that's where we see Peter Parker going full off the deep end and stuff like that. And I feel like that could have been a whole lot better in terms of the whole black suit arc when it comes to that part of the game. But yeah, I would say overall, the game is a lot of fun. It's like it's really enjoyable. I do like some of the stuff that happens, including some of the new moves, because there's some new moves and some new gadgets in the game. Like, for example, with the symbiote stuff, I do like how Peter can use these tentacles, all the tentacle stuff from the suit to try and like hit enemies from long distances or from short distances, depending on how you use them. And also, it uses and also, what I'm trying to say is that you get two different symbiote suits: the Venom one, or the Black slash symbiote one, which is basically the same suit, but the symbiote suit is more deranged, more evil looking. But then you get the anti-Venom suit, which is like the Venom suit but inverted, which I do really like. And yeah, those are like the 2.5 suits that you get when it comes to the symbiote, and it's really cool. And I do like how it's used on Venom when it comes to like the final fights, when it comes to like anti-Venom versus Venom, and when it comes to the end, I think that when he finishes off the fight, Norman Osborn is like kind of an arsehole a bit at the end, but I can kind of see where he's coming from, because he says to both Spider-Men, "What have you done to my son?" Because when you do get rid of Venom, it's like Harry, who is bonded to Venom at this point, or after this point, and throughout that part of the game, it's in this sort of coma state. And even though Norman Osborn wanted both Spider-Man to get Venom off Harry, he kind of seemed like see where he's coming from. Like, oh, you've almost, you've done this thing to my son. What have you done to him? I want you to try and fix it. And and then when you see him, get the G formula ready or something like that, and he's like, oh yeah, he's going to become the Goblin in the next game. And yeah, he kind of becomes a bit of an arsehole, but I think from my point of view, I can kind of see where he's coming from at that part of the game. So yeah, and that obviously kind of sets up his role of becoming the Green Goblin in the next game. That's going to be cool. And yeah, I'd say overall, the game is really fun. I do like some of the new suits that I'll be talking about in a later video that you do get into the game. I think there are some really cool new suits and some cool old suits that you can kind of get to use in the game and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's been my review for Spider-Man 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and see you in the next video.